Good morning, Hampton Roads, and how's everybody doing today? And welcome to Virginia's only local real estate investing podcast, where we get to talk about local investors, local deals, and all things local. I'm your host, the founder of the Master Investor Academy, and author of my best-selling book, Work Just Gets in the Way of Making Money, Scott Jelinek. If you have any questions, comments, things you'd like to discuss, or properties you'd like to sell, you can go ahead and text me at 757-699-4227. That's 757-699-4227. So, a couple things I wanted to talk to you guys about today. But before I do, I want to tell you that I ate lunch yesterday at P.F. Chang's, which you guys know P.F. Chang's has been around in Town Center for years. And I used to go there when it was brand new, and it was always slam packed. And it was always very, it was good, but I never really went because it's Town Center. It's hard to park sometimes, and it was always mobbed. But anyway, I had the event down at Town Center the other, so I ended up going down there when I was there. And I got to tell you, it was freaking incredible. Now that's all I'm thinking about is I want to go again. I had wonton soup, and you get wonton soup all the time, and it's good. You get it because it's there. This wonton soup was like fantastic. Every sip of the broth, I don't know what they did to it. It was great. Lettuce wraps, Mongolian beef. I mean, everything was just absolutely fantastic. So I don't know what it is. I haven't been there in probably 3, 4, 5 years, and it was absolutely incredible. So I'm just telling you that because if you're in the area, Town Center, P.F. Chang's was absolutely great. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. What I wanted to talk to you about today was an article I just read, and I'm going to show you, at least I'll show you the headline. The headline says, if you can see, why buying cheap homes won't make you money. And I love articles like this. It's because of articles like this and the mindset of articles like this that our business is even possible. But I want to read you a couple of their points. They say why not to buy cheap, why you shouldn't buy cheap, and what qualifies as a cheap home. They go on, it's different in different areas, yada, 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 but it violates their investing rules. And I'm going to read the rules to you, or the reasons why they say don't buy them. And they're not wrong, mind you. So let me tell you, they're not wrong. Cheap houses tend to be in areas of town that are most likely on the decline rather than in the path of progress, impacting your tenant options. Yep, that's true. That tends to be why they're cheap. Number 2, have high tenant turns and higher turn costs due to lower pride of ownership, thus impacting your cash flow. If you were doing conventional rentals, absolutely, I would say that's true. This is why that purgatory, I always call it real estate purgatory, exists. We'll talk more about it. Have a higher capital expense and maintenance cost in relation to rents, again, impacting your cash flow. So again, very true if you were doing conventional rentals. Number 4, be harder to insure for a reasonable cost. So again, maybe for a conventional rental, I don't have any problems with my insurance on my properties. I think they run $400 to $500 a year, but I guess maybe different areas have different possibilities with that. Number 5, have fewer exit strategies due to fewer qualified buyers at that price point. Again, absolutely true. And that's why we have one exit strategy that we use. And we'll talk about that in a second. Number 6, make it harder or impossible to secure lending. Absolutely true. I mean, and that is, again, why this opportunity exists, because your regular buyers, your regular conventional buyers, your regular conventional homeowners cannot get a mortgage. The only way to fund these is either with your own cash or with private money, which conventional homeowners aren't in that world. And number 7 doesn't really make too much sense to me. It says have lower depreciation, impacting your ability to use one of the most powerful tools for your cash flow tax-free. Yeah, it has lower depreciation, but it has the exact same depreciation in relation to the price of the house. So for them to say lower depreciation, I'm like, well, no, it's exactly the same. You get to depreciate your house. I'm pretty sure it's 27 and a half years, regardless of the price point. So it's not lower. It's lower based on the value of the house, but not lower in relation to the value of the house. Anyway, so all of those things in this article are true, except for the headline. Why buying cheap homes won't make you money. You see the headline there? Why buying cheap homes won't make you money. The opposite is true, and let me explain to you why. Cheap homes will make you money if you follow one simple exit strategy. And that is exactly what we do. That is the slow flip model. All of those reasons that they just listed there is why the slow flip model exists. It's exactly why the slow flip model exists. People don't want to deal with the higher turnover costs, the higher tenant turns. They don't want to deal with the nobody can get mortgages out in that area. They don't want to deal with their declining areas. Yet people live in all those houses. And so it is one of the most overlooked opportunities that there are out there. And I'm going to run some random numbers. And again, this is a local podcast, so I'm going to give you guys local numbers. If you were to buy a townhouse, and we're just going to use Virginia Beach as an example because I have a lot in Virginia Beach. So if you were to buy a Virginia Beach townhouse, and let's say it's a $150,000 townhouse, right? For easy numbers. But let's say you got a deal on it and you got it for $100,000. It's going to rent for about $1,175 a month. So you got a deal on the house, mind you. It's a Virginia Beach townhouse. You got it for $100,000 and it's going to rent for $1,175 a month. It's pretty nice, right? I got a bunch of them. But now let's say you took that exact same $100,000 and you bought three $30,000 houses, three slow flips. You bought three $30,000 houses. How much are they going to generate for you per month? $875 a month is the average. But for easy math, let's say it's $800 a month. That's $2,400 a month income versus that $1,175. All things being equal, $1,175 you get on one hand, $2,400 on the other side. So let me get rid of some of the arguments people have. Some of the arguments you just read in that article, but they're not appreciating. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not in business for appreciation. I'm not in business for equity. You can't spend equity. You can't eat equity. I can spend the cash flow that comes to me every single month. Oh, but they're higher turnover areas. Well, that may be true for rentals. We do owner financing. We strictly do sales. Slow flips are sales. So it does not affect us. Our people stay long-term. Even at the worst scenario we're in right now during coronavirus, we have three that are trailing behind. Actually, it was two now because one got money from the government program. We have 2 out of 115 that are trailing behind. So although there may be situations going on in those areas, they're not the areas where people are treating them as their homeowner, as their house. So you can let that one go. Higher maintenance cost. Well, guess what? When you do the slow flip model, we have zero maintenance cost. Zero. So you can, get rid of that one right there. What were some of the other arguments in there? Hang on. Let me pull it up for you. I think that was about high tenant turnovers. Well, we have very low tenant turnovers, very, very low, because our people stay forever. They want to stay until, they're buying the house. So it's a 30-year mortgage. So we have very low turnover. And the other one that it mentions was higher insurance costs. And I'm not sure where that comes from because I have very low insurance costs. I have my average on my slow flips is $400 to $500 a month. So it's very low insurance cost. So anyway, so I wanted to address this for a couple of reasons. But one is I read this, my first instinct when I read even just the headline of the article, because you guys remember the headline. What did the headline say? Why buying cheap homes won't make you money. So you see the headline and I want to argue because I'm like, no, cheap homes make me the most money, the absolute most money, hands down. But then when you read it, I almost want to thank them because it's because of them. And I don't mean them, and I'm not putting the author down, whoever wrote it. It's because of them and that mindset that makes this whole opportunity available to us. Because if everybody believed that it's profitable, they would all go up in value and it'd be harder and harder to turn the dollars that we're turning out there. But because the masses believe this article and believe the stuff that's spewed all over the place, just like this article, nobody wants them. And that's why we call it real estate purgatory. It's right in the middle there. They're not, the investors don't want them, the landlords don't want them, and the homeowners can't sell. They're stuck in the middle because homeowners need the cash in order to move. But yet the buyers who want them can't get a mortgage to buy them, and they have to buy them with cash, but they don't have the cash. So that's where we step in the middle. We pay cash for them, even though we might be using private money, but it's cash to the seller. And then we sell them to the homeowner with long-term owner financing so they don't have to come up with it. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I read that article and I was like, man, they basically are screaming slow flips. And I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And I wanted to share that with you because this is the opportunity of our lives. and it's only going to get better over these next couple of years. So we are getting in position to really do some serious work over these next couple of years. There's my cat there stepping in behind me if you are watching this on the video. Anyway, I wanted to make sure to tell you that if you have not done so, go ahead and like the video. I really appreciate that you guys have been clicking like. It lets me know that you're out there. If you are listening to this on the podcast, go ahead and leave me a rating and review. Greatly appreciate it. Helps me get that out to more people. And for today, I want you to go out there and do something today that your future self is going to thank you for. Remember, when you start setting this ball in motion and you set yourself free, the world is going to line up to see how you did it. And you're going to be glad that you started today. A couple of years from now, you're going to remember that day when I said, that's it, no more. I'm starting right now. Do something today your future self is going to thank you for. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Have an absolutely fantastic